Saturday, September the 10th is a big day of racing at Scioto Downs. They have 15 live races, including the $200,000 Charlie Hill and $200,000 Ewart Memorial. DRF Bets has you covered with an 8% rebate on all wagers. DRFHarness.com will also have some great stuff on there with live video, link to free pass performances as well. We're going to take a look at the late pick four. It's all stakes, and it starts in race number 10 with the Charlie Hill for $200,000. And as you can see, it's a pretty stacked field of 10. Maybe not the best trotters as far as the older group goes, but we have a pretty good group here. Quattro de Julio has been good all year long. I mean, he throws in some issues here and there where he'll make a break, and that's why you want to be leery when you go to bet him. Maybe wait until the gate's coming off the turn and see what he's doing to make sure before you play him. But he's been really good, and we're going to take a look at video from last time for him. He was in the Sebastian K, and this is him on the lead with Andrew McCarthy driving. At the back of the pack, you can actually see Love by the Masses, who at post 8 was never involved. Andrew just kicks out the plugs, and Quattro de Julio kind of just takes off here, pulls away from the field late and wins impressively. And what's interesting here is I've mentioned it a couple of times already that Andrew McCarthy drove this horse, and this week he's not. This week, Andrew McCarthy is on the 5, Loved by the Masses, because Tim Tetrick's up in Canada driving. And Derick Giwner chose off the 7, a Ron Burke horse, who he drives everything for, basically. And he's going to end up on Quattro de Julio. So it's a little surprising here to see a little bit of these musical chair driver changes going on here. Quattro de Julio is the horse to beat in this race. If he behaves and doesn't do anything wrong, he's probably going to win this race. But I want to throw a horse like Loved by the Masses on my ticket. He's 9-1 in the morning line. You're not going to get anywhere close to 9-1 here. He's the most reliable horse in the race as far as I'm concerned. He's probably going to show speed this week, is Loved by the Masses. You're not going to see him taking back to last in this field like he did in the Sebastian K over at Pocono. To me, it's these two horses as the most logical horses in the field. It's Academic, has speed, has done well over the track, and is probably a contender. He really didn't have much of a chance in the Maple Leaf. Well, let me amend that. He had a chance. He just wasn't up to the task. But that field was a better field overall from top to bottom than the one he faces today. A horse that I might consider on my tickets as well, if you want to go a little bit deeper, is the 9 Incommunicado, getting a nice driver change here to Todd McCarthy. He comes off a really nice effort last time where he only lost by a head. His previous starts, he had some traffic issues. I could see McCarthy firing out here hard and this guy getting involved at a decent price, But when it comes to my tickets, I'm probably going to use mostly 4 and 5. Maybe I'll throw the 9 on one extra ticket there. We're going to move on to race number 11. It's the Jim Ewart Memorial, $200,000 on the line. As you can see, they came up a little short, only 7 in this field, but still a good group, and it's led by the 4 Alleyway Hanover, who's coming off a really impressive performance over at Harrah's, Philadelphia. And we're going to take a look at that video right now. He went a 47 3 mile and actually tied the track record. And you're going to see him coming out of the pocket here. A lot of that was due to the fact that the second place finisher, Ruthless Hanover, went insane fractions, 51 and 4 1/2. You barely even see that on a mile track. He did it here on a 5/8 track. And you could see Alleyway Hanover just drew away from the field. Impressive enough that he could keep up in those fractions, but then to just pull away from the field like that, even more impressive. Alleyway is 100% the horse to beat here. He's probably going to be 3 to 5. He's probably worth 3 to 5. If you're looking for a way to beat him, maybe the 5 Charlie May. I mean, speed-wise, Charlie May is fast enough on paper, raw speed, to beat Alleyway Hanover. The problem is that Charlie May tends to come from off the pace more often than not. And I mean, obviously he could try to change tactics here and fire out, but I don't see any way Alleyway's letting anyone go. I think he's going to look to go to the front and try to boss this field. It's a short field. There's no reason not to try those tactics. So for me, Alleyway Hanover is a single here. Charlie May has an outside chance. And there's a bunch of these that could finish second if Charlie May doesn't fire his best shot. I mean, Gold Digger King, Tell Me About It. Backstreet Shadow's coming off a really nice effort. So I think if you want to try to play Alleyway Hanover on top and you don't want to go with the cold favorite of Jack, the chalk over Charlie May, there are other options here. Gold Digger King's been, he's 4 for 12 this year, 6 for 12 last year, 4 for 11 the year before over this track. So clearly he likes it. Alleyway Hanover is the top pick, and we're going to move on to race number 12. It's the first of two Ohio Sire Stakes races here. $55,000 on the line for these 2-year-old Colt Pacers, and Racing Rampage is clearly the horse to beat in this spot. I mean, he's reeled off 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in a row. He's looked very special doing it. I mean, if I had to find some knocks here, I would say he's missed 3 weeks of action. I mean, it's probably by design because there were no Ohio Sire Stakes races for him to be in. But, and really, when you think about it, he doesn't really need this race. He's going to be in the final. The final's on October 1st at Dayton, and they're going to go for well over 200,000 in that final. Is this an important race for him? No, but I expect that he'll be, forwardly placed in this spot, and if he comes with anything close to his A effort, he's probably going to win. The one horse I could pick out in this field that I thought maybe, if they produce their best effort to beat him, would be the one Act Fast. I mean, he really looked like a special horse as well in the Next Generation. He debuted and he was spectacular coming from off the pace in a 52-mile, and then since then, just things haven't gone right. I don't know if maybe he's been a little sick along the way. He threw in a break. Things just haven't gone right. And then he's scratched sick out of the August 19th race, and then came back with a qualifier at the Meadows. The qualifier was sharp, 53-1. He really needs this win badly to make the final, or maybe a second would get him in. But I expect him to show up with a pretty big effort. It's just a matter of whether he can take on Racing Rampage, who's been just spectacular. We'll move on to race number 13, another Ohio Sire Stakes for $55,000. And to me, this one's a little bit more wide open. I would agree that the Real Way, the 3-2 morning line favorite, is the one to beat. I mean, he has won 4 of his 5 starts on the year, and Ohio Sire Stakes last time he won by 4 and just beat up the field in 51-2. I mean, that's a pretty darn impressive effort. But I think the 3, Rock Me Like You Mean It, and the 6, Downright Delicious, are both close enough time-wise as far as, the raw speed factor that they could step up and give this guy, a little bit of a tussle. I mean, they both come out of very good barns, the Christy Noble barn and Travis Alexander barn, both high percent of outfits that tend to send horses out ready and looking to go every single start. And I see this as more wide open than maybe the 3-2 morning line, would lead you to believe here. So it's a nice field of 2-year-old Colt Paces, and it's going to be really interesting when all these get together on the final at Dayton on October 1st to see, who's the best of the best in this division. Let's take a look at the pick 4 ticket. It's a very economical play here, just $6. We're going to, obviously, we said we're going to key Alleyway Hanover. If you wanted to in that first leg and throw in Incommunicado, it really wouldn't increase your ticket much, just increases it from 6 to 9. It might be worth a shot. If you wanted to key Racing Rampage in race number 12 and get the ticket down to $3, you could do that too. I think there are a lot of good options here. It's a cheap play, but it's a solid play where, your $6 could return 24. So who wouldn't want to 4x their money? 15 races on the card at Scioto, 3:15 post time. Remember, there's an 8% rebate on all wagers via DRF bets. We'll also have free PPs available on the site, live video. It should be a great day of racing at Scioto. You want to check it out. Good luck.